Welcome, everyone. My name's Kelly Els. I work at the OFA and I coordinate the member benefit program. We currently have about 17 participants or companies that we partner with to give our members discounts. And today we're going to highlight three of them. One is, as you can see on our screen, we're going to start with TELUS Health Pharmacy. This is a newest benefit partner to our roster. We're excited to offer this to our members and hopefully give them some flexibility and some savings in the rural areas when it comes to their healthcare. We're going to highlight after TELUS the Cooperators Program, who's been with us a long time, and we're also going to look at Hearing Life, who's been a relatively new partner as well. So I'm going to hand this over to Matt, who's with us from TELUS today.
Thanks so much, Kelly. Hi, everybody. I'm Matt from TELUS Health Virtual Pharmacy. I'm the Director of Operations for our sites across the country. A lot of people will probably put the name TELUS to telephones, but we actually have a very large health division where we do everything from claims adjudication. We have virtual care and virtual pharmacy. And so today here, I want to explain to you what our service is and what the value is for OFA members. So when you hear the word virtual, you probably think like we don't have a physical spot. No, every pharmacy in the province has to have a physical site, sticks and bricks. We have a site in Richmond Hill that serves all of Ontario, and we want to show you today basically how this service works. So I'm going to start with the key features. The biggest thing about virtual pharmacy is how you don't have to come to us. You can meet us either through an application, through the website, by telephone. We use text message a lot for communication with patients, but you don't have to make a trip to us. So there is a large population of the country of Canada and actually just North America that are taking multiple maintenance medications. Maintenance medications are those ones you're taking probably every day, and you probably won't stop taking them for the rest of your life. We hope you do, but in some cases, you'll be on them for a considerable amount of time. So our service is more designed for helping people who are on chronic meds. It doesn't mean that we don't offer what we call acute or those immediate need meds, but our service is ideal for people who are on chronic medications that keep making those constant trips to the pharmacy, waiting in line, where you don't need to do that. We can drop it and deliver it to you and provide all the services virtually to you. So the key thing is delivery is free. You can make private pharmacist consultations. And I say the word private because I'm sure many of you have been in line at a pharmacy and you can hear everything about the person up in front of you. You know, what special cream they need for that special area and where they live and all the details, which they really shouldn't be. They should be taken aside to a private consultation area. When you work with us, you never have to worry about that. You can be sitting in your pajamas at home and have a conversation with our pharmacist who can provide you all the information you need. Or you can do a virtual consultation where we actually use, just like you're doing today in Zoom, where you'll connect with us and you can speak to the pharmacist face to face. We can show you how to use, for instance, devices and inhalers, or just have a good face to face conversation in the private confines of your home. The other really cool thing with our application is you can manage your entire family's prescriptions. So in a lot of cases, and in my scenario, I've got 5 children, and I got to be honest, my wife has to remind me a lot about making sure to take care of things. But in our application, we can actually share information. So I can allow my wife to take care of refills and manage medications that I may be forgetting to refill. Same thing goes for my father. He's on multiple medications, and his biggest issue was trying to remember how to take them. So we offer a very unique service called MedPack, which is, I think you guys can see my mouse here, but this service where we organize patients' meds by date and time of day. Many people may be familiar with blister cards, where you get these little bubble packs. We do it a little differently. They're little individual daily packs that have all your medications organized by the time and date that your doctor prescribed them. We offer this service for free for all patients. We will manage all your refill reminders. We'll also do a lot to try to synchronize your meds. Many patients have a lot of problems with they're getting their doctor to renew prescriptions one at a time, or maybe a couple at a time. So you'll be refilling this one, and then you'll find 2 weeks later, you got to make another trip down to the pharmacy to pick up the other 2 meds you might be on. Where we'll try to do everything we can to organize your meds and synchronize them. So we're making one delivery on a regular basis to you that's got everything you need. Now you may get a new prescription that we have to add into the cycle, but we'll manage that for you. The other big part is overall, we are tend to be on the lower cost of things. And a lot of people will say, well, how do you do that when you're providing free delivery services? Well, one of the biggest costs is having all the footprint everywhere. So in our situation, we do use some unique robotic dispensing technology, and we try to use that to provide more upfront clinical services. Meaning, if my pharmacists and teams are not spending time counting pills, which we can get a robotic equipment to count and actually does it far more accurately, we can spend more time having a discussion with you about actually health concerns. So, how does it work? What are the features? The experience at a glance, you basically will go to our website or download our app, and all this will be posted on the member area of the OFA site that you guys will be able to access to claim this information and access it. But you'll create an account with us just like you would at any pharmacy where we have to collect information about where you live, your personal information, maybe insurance that you might have, your Ontario Drug Benefit number, your OHIP card number. You'll build a profile where you're going to need to tell us some details about your health. What are your medical conditions? Do you have any allergies? We'll put all this stuff on file just like every pharmacy does. During this process, you guys will have a code. The OFA code is ON107. You'll be prompted to enter this code into the system. That tells us you're an OFA member, and that will allow us to apply specific things to your account so that you can receive the discounts that we're going to offer today. And I'll get to that in a little bit. But you'll build a profile. You can organize having your prescriptions transferred. We take care of that. You just let us know where your medications are, and we can call that pharmacy and have them moved to us. Now, some of you are probably thinking, well, I like my pharmacy. I like to go there here. We don't disagree. We understand that. This is an option to help you with convenience and making trips that you think are unnecessary. We can provide all this to you in this manner. So we'll transfer your prescriptions into the system, and the application and the website will send you notifications to say, we now have your scripts on file, and you can action things. You can add family members. So you'll start to share information. There is some privacy and consent requirements here on how this is done, and our team on the phone can help you with this, or the app will guide you pretty much on how to connect two family members together. And then once you start using the service, we'll always keep you on track. We'll be always telling you, here's where your order's at. We're now filling it. We've now processed your insurance claim, or we've collected your copayment. And then we will tell you when your order is shipped. It'll include a tracking number. And you always have the ability to book an appointment with a pharmacist through the app. You can always just call us. It's up to you how you want to communicate with us. But you can book it at any time. We also provide a service for minor ailments where you can see the pharmacist for some of the minor ailments that now the province is covering. All right. So when you build your profile, the big thing that I want the OFA members to capture here is this part. On February 7th, we are going to launch an update to our application. So currently this isn't here, but we're going to launch this in, Saturday. There'll be a push that goes through, and you'll now see this group invitation code field. This is going to make it really simple for you. When you're filling in insurance information or your health card information, you'll see a block that says group invitation code. You'll enter ON107 in here. That tells our team that you're an OFA member, and we'll apply special pricing for you. Okay. Oh, sorry. Actually, I need to go here. The real cool thing too about our application is that you can see all your medications in real time, all the time, where things are, how many refills you have left, what doctor may have prescribed them to you, so you know where to get renewals. We can manage all your renewals for you though as well. You send in a request for us, we'll push it off to the doctor and ask them to provide a renewal. In some cases, we'll reach back out to you and say, actually, your doctor would like you to come visit him or her for another appointment. But you can see all your family members. You can drop down from here to see different patients or family members that are in your file. And you can also get drug information sheets. So all that health information is all digitized, so it's available to you at any time. You can put little notes on file to say, this is my water pill or this is my heart med, so that you can understand, because sometimes these names later. I remember the first time I ever started in pharmacy, and I've been in it for about 25 years, but there was a drug called metronidazole, but I always would call it metrodinosaur. So I can understand how these names don't make sense, but it's nice to be able to add a note to say, this is my heart med, or this is my med for my digestion, or whatever it might be. So the application gives you the ability to kind of do a lot of things to keep track of what you're taking and how you're taking them. Now, the way that you refill or request medications from us becomes more like somewhat of an e-commerce style. So many of you may have ordered something online. It works the same way. You'll go into that that page previous here, and you'll say, I want to add it to my order. It'll flow up to a cart, into your cart, and then we'll ask you a series of questions. Where would you like it delivered? And you can have it delivered anywhere in the country. It has to be within Canada, but we can deliver it. If you're on vacation in Winnipeg, we can deliver it there temporarily for you. So you'll pick your delivery addresses or add a custom address. We'll ask you about payment. How do you want to do it? We have 3 different ways to pay because in some cases, some of these medications can be very costly. So we understand that there are different ways to do this. You can set up auto payment. You can set up, we'll warn you before and you pay as you go. Or we can also set up where we confirm by telephone with you and we'll have a conversation with you. I do want to make sure everybody's understanding that this business was designed to actually help employers keep costs down on their drug plans, because we'll help with navigating and finding payment assistance options. So many drugs have the ability where we can file or put on to your file a secondary piece of coverage that will help take costs off. We'll help navigate those options for you. In some cases, your doctor may have prescribed a med that's not covered by your plan, but there may be an alternative medication that our pharmacist can help you with and say, you know what, if we can talk to your doctor to get this changed, it'll get fully covered. So one of our big things is that we help patients navigate the entire health system in terms of how coverage works. Once you add this in, we ask you, do you want to speak to a pharmacist? If you ask us to speak with you, we will call you and have a quick conversation with you. And then you get a checkout summary and you'll get messages when your order has been shipped. Here's how the order confirmation looks. So we'll confirm your order. You'll see that it's placed. Then you'll know it's shipped. You'll have a tracking number that at any time you can click and track and see where that package is. We use various carriers or couriers across the Ontario. We have Purelator, FedEx, Canada Post. We have a couple local ones that we use. Well, our system is designed to determine which postal codes are served best by which vendors. We ship thousands of orders a day, so we have a good understanding of which providers provide the best service. I do want to call out that there is a requirement for a signature. We are continuing to work on other ways to do this, but we do need to make sure you have it. So we find that this is actually a very low problem. A lot of people are like, oh, this seems so difficult. It's not. We'll typically coordinate with you saying you're going to be home tomorrow. All right, we'll make sure the delivery is done tomorrow. And our service tends to be, depending on how rural you are, but in most areas in Ontario, I'm going to say even up to Thunder Bay, it's overnight. We're paying for the highest level of service possible. If you're super rural, you probably know you are, and it'll usually be between 1 to 3 days, depending on where you are. Again, like I said, you can book and speak to a pharmacist. It's real simple. Just tell us what you want to talk about, book up a time and a slot. You'll have a link that's sent to you. You just click it and you'll open up just like you did today in Zoom. And then I want to talk about the MedPack solution. So this is the solution I was saying, how my dad forgets that he's taken his 2 meds. You know, you go back to your vial every day. You're like, did I take that? And you can never remember. Our MedPack solution is really designed for people who are dealing with multiple medications, and we'll organize them in the time slot bags by date. So if today is February 4th, you'll go to your pouch. And if your February 4th pouch is there and it says 8 a.m., you haven't taken it. So we'll help you manage that. Where you have vials, or maybe you're using dosettes and you're doing all that work, we'll take care of all that for you based on your doctor's orders. This is completely free. In a lot of pharmacies, there is a charge typically to do what we call compliance or adherence packaging. This service we offer for free. And then what happens is you get in about a monthly cycle. So every month you'll be having these packages delivered to you. Our team member, our MedPack specialist, will actually reach out to all of our MedPack patients before and say, hey, any changes to your health, any changes to your doses, you're visiting the doctor soon. And based on that, we'll decide if we're going to run your package or not, or add in what we need, but we'll help manage it. It's a completely white glove service. And this is one thing we're very, very proud of. And I know this seems a little bit like bragging. I always tell my kids, don't brag about things. But in this situation, I do want to make sure it's clear that we do regular customer satisfaction surveys. And this is based on the last 1,980, about 2,000 respondents. And we ask them to rate us on a couple different things: transaction experience, likelihood for them to tell their friends, our delivery experience, and our pharmacist counsel. You'll notice here the pharmacist counsel number is almost 100% on a regular basis. We are able, because of this design of the way the pharmacy operates, what we call a central dispensing pharmacy. From one area, we serve a larger area. And because of the use of the robotics, we're able to give that time to the pharmacist to give proper counsel. What you'll notice a lot of times in storefront, and not always, I shouldn't say this is always the case, but in a lot of cases, there's a lineup. It puts pressure on that pharmacist to move faster through things. When we're working virtually, we don't know about a lineup. Our pharmacists are able to spend time doing what they need to do with the patient and whatever is required. Um, so we're very proud of our customer satisfaction rates. They're very, very high. We're not perfect. And this is one thing I always try to make sure is clear. We're not perfect, but what we can say is we're responsive when things may not go right. You just call us. We will find a solution for you, whatever it may be. Even if that is where we have to help you get to a local pharmacy to get that medication, we will do whatever we can. Whatever we can. The key is your care. That is all we. The paramount thing is patient care. All right, so let's get to what's in it for you guys. So the pricing program is what we call it. So as I said at the top of the presentation here, is that 65% of Canadians are taking a prescription medication. Many of them are taking multiple medications, and in most of these cases, you'll have some kind of out-of-pocket expense. Depending on your age, if you're ODB, you might be paying $4.11. You might be paying $2 flat rate. You might be getting some of this waived by your pharmacy, which is great. And then you'll have some of your medications that may not be covered by your insurance, and you got to pay out of pocket. This is where on every prescription, no matter what it is, if you register with us, we'll take up to $6 off your copayment. So whatever your out-of-pocket expense is, it's $6. Now that seems like not a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, if you have multiple medications, say 4 meds or 3 meds at $4.11 on your ODB claim, that's $12 and change. That's gonna be waived. We'll take care of that for you, and we'll deliver it for free to you. So this is a big savings for people who are dealing with multiple medications. Again, how it works during that registration, and again, I'm going to tell you February 7th, this new field will be available to you. So I'm going to ask you February 8th, sign up. You can download our app. You can scan this QR code right now if you want. You enter this code at the group invitation code. It'll look like this. And when you enter that, it'll flow into our system, and we'll make sure that this applies. And it will apply every time you fill a med. It's not a single time, a single use code. This code applies as for every refill you do. And once the code is entered, you do not have to enter it every time you check out. We have it on file. That's good. Again, that's all. Thank you very much. I hope my timing was okay here, Kelly.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Okay.
I just wanted for the group, if I'm not savvy on a phone or a computer, can I still use this service?
100%. So we have a lot of patients that just use us by telephone. They
Oh.
just call us and we take care of everything through the phone. Completely up to you. That was the purpose. I will say, there is a lot of patients who thought that they weren't savvy using the app, but then they find out, maybe I'll try it, and it's actually pretty straightforward. But we are completely content with having a conversation with you by telephone.
We did have a question in the chat, but I think Samantha answered that.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks, Sam.
So there's another question here. Who can have access to this in a corporation? Family only, shareholders only, directors, officers, non-related?
Anybody. So anybody who's covered under the plan, we will link this to all the family members, anybody who registers with that code. If you're thinking on an employer side, there are different ways to handle that. If you're thinking about something different, I'm not sure if I'm answering that question correctly, but it will apply for you and your family members.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions for Matthew?
And again, if something comes up, guys, after this, because I'm sure it's maybe not top of mind, or you just don't want to be the one to send the question in, feel free to just call us. Just speak to us. Just call and ask your questions. Our team will be ready to help you.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much, Matthew.
All right, I'll stop
Okay,
sharing
we're going
here.
to move on now to cooperators. This has been a long-standing partnership with OFA, and I'm going to welcome Joel Santos to do his presentation.
Oh, there we go. Thank you so much, Kelly. It's a pleasure to be here. Let me start to share my screen. Can you please confirm you see my screen because I only have one monitor? All good? Perfect. Thank you so much. So as you shared, there's a long time relationship between cooperators and OFA. Actually, a lot of people still don't know as of today. OFA is a founding member of cooperators as we know it today. So cooperators was formed 81 years ago this year. And OFA was there since the inception to help us bring solutions to a tough market. About 80 years ago, the quote unquote regular insurers would just move away and refuse to insure ag sector, and communities and credit unions, farmers, ag sectors came together. And that's how cooperators saw the beginning. So very humble beginnings, but very tough, very challenging. I actually invite everybody interested a little bit in the good history to go take a look at the Cooperators website, and you see our history and how it started off in the rural sectors and what we became today, of being the largest farm-related insurer in Canada. Now, if you take all the smaller mutuals and you add them together, they might be bigger than us, but as a single expertise ag sector insurer, we are the largest ones in Canada today. We were created literally by the ag sector for the ag sector, and we developed in order to serve many sectors touching the well-being of our community. So I'd like to start what's in it for me as an OFA member if I adhere and not only to cooperators, but as well to the member benefits program. So this is a special program that we've put in place about 12, 15 years ago for our members, the grassroots. And so you get access to exclusive coverages and savings. Who doesn't need savings, especially today? I will benefit as an OFA member from my membership added value with cooperators. And it creates a different connection because you are a member organization of cooperators, usually referred to as a member owner. We don't use that terminology. So understanding that as a member of OFA, OFA is a member organization of cooperators, there's definitely a different link, a different association, a different connection there. The win for OFA, it adds values to your members. There's more ways to collaborate in our co-op sector. And for us at cooperators, we know that member benefits clients are better clients for us because they tend to better understand the relationship between their association, their organization, OFA, and cooperators. And it helps us demonstrate our leadership in the sector of multi-product offers in the insurance world. There we go. Products we offer as of today, we evolve constantly depending on the inquiries from our members, the feedback that we get. Of course, we started with the first product was Farm. So it offers members a special discount, better limits for the members. You also have access to an enhanced farm endorsement, exclusive again for the members. As well, we offer free of charge a commercial endorsement. So this is like, let's say I have a commercial policy with cooperators or anybody living in my household, my daughter, my son, they have a gig on the side, they do accounting, they repair bikes, they have their own policy, they're eligible to this endorsement for free. We're going to take a quick look later what it looks like. Also, preferred rates at a discount for travel. Home is the same thing. As a member of OFA, we're allowed to offer you some member discounts, better limits, and EnviroGuard for members, which is an enhancement coverages as well for home. Auto, there's a member discount. Unfortunately, the auto product is regulated provincially, and in Ontario, we are unable to offer a discount for auto. So there is a small one in Quebec and in other provinces. Some provinces don't have it. Although why we share it here is because if you combine, say, home and auto, you're going to have a multi-product discount as well applicable under the umbrella of all the offers that we have for OFA. So the enhanced farm endorsement, it got a little upgrade in the last year. So here, these are the very small summary of what it includes. I invite you to reach out to a farm advisor if you're interested in knowing more. For instance, part one, fire department charges, we add up to $25,000. It's now been increased to up to $75,000 increase. As you can read it here, up to 50% of the limit of insurance on the contents to insure contents situated anywhere else. This is a big deal that I got feedback across the sharings that we've shared. Extension to cover structures or building acquired or newly built. The standard in the market is a maximum of $250,000 up to 30 days. If you have the exclusive member benefits endorsement, you will be covered up to $60,000, so more than $500,000 and up to 60 days. In real world, I started to build a barn. I forgot to advise my advisor. Something happened. There was a loss. Well, if you have this endorsement on, it will cover you 31 days, 32 days. It's not like, oh, too late. We didn't know about it. I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. This is the difference that cooperators look into creating added value. Exterior farm signs and so on, liability extensions as well. So we see here that in the standard policies, there is a big charge for fuel or fuel tanks, and the member benefits program automatically includes the coverage of $15,000 and things like these. So the details, I really strongly suggest that you go with an advisor to have those details, but the list is very lengthy of all the enhancements that we have created and put in place for the members. As well, we have something that we call Tomorrow Strong, and this is for everybody insured with cooperators, not necessarily exclusive to members. And it covers up extra in case of claims in an area or losses that are related to the roofs. So for instance, if you live in an area and you had the complete loss of your roof, you had water infiltration, well, we will help creating a more resilient roofing. Let's say if you had shingles that are good for 15 years or 100 kilometers an hour winds, we will propose to upgrade those materials to create better resiliency. And these is important to know that we offer these without premium increases, and there is nothing attached to it. So if you are with us today, you have a claim, we'll propose this. If you unfortunately decide to move somewhere else, you still have this. The reason why is cooperators believes that we have a role key to play in the resiliency of our communities. So up to $3,000 to upgrade your roofing. If there's something that happened, trusts lift up or something like that, we will pay up to $1,500 for what we call the hurricane straps. And this is kind of interesting. I learned in a recent webinar, that these things, actually the hurricane straps, is a little thing that is fairly cheap to install when they build a house. Unfortunately, to save a few dollars, it's not done. So we believe it's the right thing to do, and hence why we offer this. And as well, upon the administration of the file, we will pay up to $1,000 to prevent more losses related to something that could have happened. So all of the details are on our website, and again, you can have all these details via one advisor of cooperators. Farm insurance, what it does, you get 5% base rate savings, and then the rating is adjusted accordingly to the risk. Either you have a full farm or a hobby farm policy with us. Both are eligible for this. You can have better limits and again have that special endorsement for your farm. On the home insurance side is the same thing. You have a 5% base rate savings on your home policy and then adjusted accordingly to the risk. And you can as well have EnviroGuard for members, which offers extra claim amounts and options for friendly environment options, alternatives. What do the better limits look like? This is again a very short summary that you can see here. So on the top there, if you have like books, tools, instruments, clothing, or something like that, these are the limits, and underneath is $30,000 blanket limit coverage on some of these things. And the last item there, like I always kind of smile when I see that, bicycles, because not too long ago during the pandemic, I used to live in a condo carp in downtown Mississauga. And unfortunately, a lot of my friends that had bikes, people were going through the lockers, and the bikes, high value bikes, road bikes, just went vanishing. There was a lot of theft. So my bike was sleeping in my living room 24/7 back then. It still is today, but still, like, so this is good, like, especially, like, that other regular policies have lower limits for these items. So it's a nice thing to have as part of the member benefits program. The commercial advantage endorsement that I referred to just a few minutes ago, you get this for free. This is something that we worked on for almost 2 years to put together with our commercial department. And because of the ask of many of our member organizations, we thought it was a good added value to be able to offer this. So this, or part of similar of this, is an endorsement that can be bought for a fee if someone is with cooperators with their commercial policy, but not a member. They will have to pay a few $100s to get these coverages or something similar. All of these extensions and coverages are offered for free if you're part of the member benefits program and have your commercial insurance with us. If I will go back to the chat later. Travel insurance, this is something that is quite nice. So you get a 10% discount on any travel policy. And what's good to know is that you can sign a policy for 1 week, for 2 weeks, for 1 month, for 3 months, for 6 months, or for the entire year. And that discount will apply. What I learned recently with my dad, that is now hitting the 89 years old range and not eligible really to travel because much more than before, is he had bought a travel coverage policy, but instead of having the standard one that you call in and say, oh yeah, you're going to be covered for 60 days or 90 days per trip, and it's going to cost you like this amount of money. And it was like, wow, that's expensive. Until I had a chat, and I realized that it's possible to buy a 1-year travel policy, but to limit the exposure, let's say, to 2 weeks, because my dad was not traveling if I was not traveling with him. And I cannot have up to 90 days of travel of vacation in a year because I work, right? He's retired. So because he chose to go down to 1 year full coverage travel insurance, but with 2 weeks maximum being away, which means that every 14 days, he needs to come back to the country, and then he can leave again to up to 15 days. So the exposure, the risk is reduced, and his cost dropped drastically, so which made it much more affordable as well. And again, it's super important to make sure. I know that a lot of people will say, oh, I have travel insurance with my credit card. Just make sure that you verify what you actually have, the limits, and what they were going to pay for, and if they coordinate with the provincial plan or not, because every credit card has their own little tweaks and inclusions and or exceptions. Other services that are included with every policy with cooperators are legal assist helpline. So anytime you have questions, and either it's for your home, your farm, your commercial policies, we have a legal team that is able to help you out and help you with a lot of issues, employment, concerns, tax, investigations, and more. It's not a free consultation for 300 hours. It's just to give you a quick insight, and then if you need more, they can direct you to the right specialist. As well, identity theft protection. More and more it's happening today, and it's nice to know. I think it's standard in the market today to have this activated. Fraud is constantly evolving. I had to deal just this week and last week with my dad again. He got scammed, literally, his credit card, and it's just like getting in and cancel. And what did you share as information? Did you share like your SIN number, or did you share your address, phone number, whatever, date of birth? So it is always a constant stress. It's nice to know that there are guidelines in place and guards to help us go navigate through those challenges. And as well, we offer wealth, health, and life solutions to manage your estate and any other goals that someone might have in life. How to reach us? The easiest way, if you have any questions, definitely is to get in touch with myself, and I will require to know, or I will need to know where you are at, because we have advisors all across Ontario. And in this way, it's easier for me to link you with an advisor that is closest to where you live to provide you a better personalized and local service.
Okay, thank you, Joelle. There are a couple of questions in the chat. Do you have access to them?
I will stop sharing so I can open the chat.
The first one I'll read out is, can you be more specific about the enhanced farm endorsement? Is this for a particular coverage, or does it enhance multiple coverages?
There is multiple coverages in this, and this is why I share that it's best to consult with an advisor that has their dual license and will be able to explain this better, because there's at least 3 pages of details in that endorsement there.
In your presentation, it showed a $10,000 limit for tools. It doesn't seem like much. What if you have more than $10,000 value?
That is a great question. That's a base limit that is offered for free in that endorsement. There's always endorsements and increments that can be added to that for sure.
Question now, do you cover for snow removal as a farmer to close neighbors? As a farmer.
Cover snow removal? I cannot answer that. I don't have that knowledge. I don't have the license, and I don't know all the policy. That's why, I strongly refer you to an advisor close to you.
Okay. Are there any other questions for Joelle?
Thank you very much.
Oh, one more popping up here. What is the max liability coverage?
I don't have that answer with me. I guess it will depend on the operations that you have. Trent?
Yes, that's the thing with insurance, right? There's lots of personal and intricate details that need to be known, right? Okay, well, thank you, everyone. We will move on to number 3, which is Hearing Life. And we have Lori and Christina with us today, who's going to do our presentation.
Okay, and we have Cheryl as well. She's going to pull up the slides for us.
Okay.
There we go. So, hi everyone. I'm Lori Van Wyk, and I have my colleagues, as I mentioned, Christina Cassidy from Alberta and Cheryl Anderson from BC with me, and we're excited to join you today. So together, we're going to be highlighting a little bit about hearing health awareness and focusing on the fantastic exclusive benefits that you get as OFA members through Hearing Life.
Hello, I'm Christina. I'm going to talk to you about the ear here first. There are 4 parts of the human body that process sound. We have the outer, the middle, the inner ear, and the brain. The outer ear, or what we call the pinna, is as unique as your fingerprint. This is also where wax accumulates and is normal and healthy as long as there isn't a large buildup causing your ear to become blocked. Earwax moisturizes the ear canal and naturally makes its way outward, carrying out debris. Next, we have the middle ear, which contains 3 tiny bones that carry sound waves from the outer ear to the inner ear. These bones are some of the smallest in the human body, measuring as tiny as 2 millimeters. The inner ear has two main structures, which are responsible for balance and converting sound waves into electrical signals for the brain to interpret, allowing us to hear. Hearing loss is associated with aging or noise, is often a result of damage to the hair cells. So those are located in the cochlea, which looks like a tiny little snail. The initial damage tends to occur in the outer part of the cochlea, controlling the high frequency sounds such as the consonants of speech, like S, F, TH, CH, and the cochlea is lined with tiny hair cells. And when they become damaged, they actually look like a wheat field with wind damage. And lastly, we have the brain. This is there's a dedicated area in the brain that processes sound and helps us understand what we hear.
Okay, so let me ask, do you ever hear ringing or buzzing, or maybe a whistling, humming, or even clicking sounds in your ears? This is what we call tinnitus. In most cases, your brain isn't getting the signal it's looking for, so it replaces it with that ringing, buzzing, humming sounds. And it's typically more noticeable when it's quiet, like at night when you're going to bed, nice and quiet, all other areas that you may notice it happens. There are triggers that can enhance the tinnitus, like stress, fatigue, too much caffeine, nicotine, alcohol, as you may know, aspirin, and in some cases, there are medications that affect it as well. Research shows that males are more likely to experience symptoms of tinnitus than females. And 9 out of 10 people who experience tinnitus have some degree of hearing loss. That's a really important one to think about. 60% of Canadian adults aged 19 to 79 experience tinnitus or degree of hearing loss. And that statistic increases to 85% for anyone 60 years and older. And adult farmers experience nearly twice the prevalence of hearing loss compared to those of non-farming adults, which is largely due to chronic exposure to loud machinery, equipment, and livestock noise. So it's always important to recognize the signs of hearing loss for you or for your loved ones. Maybe it's that there's the obvious difficulty following conversations, even when you're in a quiet area. Talking and understanding on the phone, because again, you don't have your vision to help you get the understanding. People may seem like they're mumbling. You might have difficulty locating where a sound came from. You may have signs of tinnitus that I just spoke about, or you may be told that you have the radio and TV up too loud. So many people first notice it's women and children's voices that are difficult to hear, as well as any high-pitched sounds like birds or crickets or bells or beeps. So if you are experiencing any of these, now's a great time to get a baseline hearing test.
All right, and now we're going to talk about protecting your ears around the farm. Noise-induced hearing loss is preventable. So if we use the right hearing protection and know when it's needed, we can prevent damage. Common situations we often forget to wear hearing protection would be lawn maintenance, equipment maintenance, working around livestock, using motorized vehicles like ATVs, and working around barn fans. A rule of thumb would be if it's hard to hear someone speaking at a normal level from 1 meter away, the noise may be damaging. There are times when it is recommended to double up on hearing protection by wearing both earplugs and earmuffs, such as operating older tractors without a cab, working around grain dryers, augers, or while using a chainsaw. We have some custom hearing protection, which are made for your ear. And they're very simple to put in and give a very good fit so that you have a good seal to protect you from excessive noise. And then you will also be really comfortable because they're made specifically for your ears. Hearing Life provides custom noise protection, sleep plugs, swim plugs, and even musician earplugs. Some tips that we want to talk about is making sure that you do wear your hearing protection when it's needed, that you rotate jobs so maybe the exposure time is not as long, and making sure that the cab doors and windows fit tightly and are closed. And now we're going to talk a little bit more about different types of hearing protection. So we have some foam plugs, reusable silicone or custom earplugs, as well as earmuffs. Disposable earplugs don't provide full protection if they're not inserted properly. So it is very important to make sure you're doing that correctly. Basically, what you want to do is kind of put your hand over your ear or over your head and gently lift your ear. This helps straighten out the ear canal, allowing the earplug to go in deeper. You want to roll up your foam plug in your fingers as tiny as possible, and then insert the earplug into the ear canal and release. So proper use of hearing protection can make a big difference in preventing long-term damage. And now we're going to talk a little bit about technology. Technology has changed a lot over the years and continues to advance, giving you discrete options with improved control over your hearing aids in any environment. The hearing aids now come in a rechargeable option and have Bluetooth technology. So what does that mean for you? Well, having the connectivity allows you to be able to connect to your phone, to be able to stream music, podcasts, news, movies or videos, and even phone calls through your hearing aids. Another great feature of having Bluetooth is being able to connect to an app, which will allow you to adjust the volume of your hearing aids independently, switch programs, check your battery levels, and even locate your hearing aids if you misplace them. It shows you a map of where they were last connected to your phone so that you can find them. And lastly, another very helpful feature is that it is being able to receive remote support from anywhere in the world where you would have an internet connection. Modern hearing aids also enhance speech and reduce background noise, helping you focus on conversations while enjoying a 360 degree sound experience, sorry.
So one of the best parts of these exclusive OFA benefits is that they don't just apply to you. They extend to your immediate family as well. So that means your partner or spouse, your children, and even parents all receive an extra 10% off final pricing of hearing aids and custom earplugs. And so it gets even better. That extra 10% you can stack with promotional offers or also price matching for even more savings. Plus, if we have any coffee and tea lovers out there, you can sign up for an exclusive Club Pass card, unlocking even more perks, access to special contests and giveaways, and you receive a $5 digital Tim Hortons gift card as a welcome bonus. So getting started is as easy as just scanning the QR code on the screen, or you can visit the OFA dedicated website, which is hearinglifeadvantage.ca/OFA. And I encourage you to book a baseline hearing test. It's free and there's no referral required. Hearing Life also offers a 30-day risk-free experience on all hearing aid purchases with full money-back guarantee. We have 360-degree aftercare warranty, so that includes 3 years of manufacturer's warranty, 2 years of loss insurance, and 3 years of professional hearing healthcare follow-up. So what that includes is regular cleanings, adjustments as needed, which most people will need to customize it exactly to your settings you like, and retesting services to make sure there's no changes in your hearing. And we want to ensure the best experience on your journey to better hearing. So our team's ready to assist. So let us provide you with the personalized service. We are giving you Ask Affinity at hearinglife.ca comes directly to my team, or you can call our dedicated OFA number on the screen. And there's also a contact us section where I mentioned in the OFA website. So are there any questions?
I don't see anything in the chat. The one thing that was really fascinating to me about Hearing Life is that you really are in almost every community. You are all over Ontario, which is amazing. So anyone who has looking for a location, it's usually pretty close by. Okay. Well, we have all the information. I've given out complete information on the screen. I appreciate all of our presenters today and thank everyone for joining us. The member benefit program is more than just these three. There's lots on our website. And if you ever have questions or you didn't take the information down, you can always call the OFA office and get any information on any of our benefit programs.